Pfizer is wrapping a gift shaped like a rectangular prism for Valentine's Day. The box she used is shown. How much wrapping paper does she need? So the question is saying that Pfizer, who is wrapping a gift, and the gift shapes like a rectangular prism. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight rectangular prism. So usually the question will tell you the shape. So that's a good thing. Now, what does it mean when Pfizer is wrapping a gift? How does that relate to us in math, in geometry? When you're wrapping a gift, what you're basically doing is you are covering the entire surface of the gift, right? So wrapping a gift is equivalent to total surface area. So pretty much the question is asking you to find the total surface area of the rectangular prism when they say wrapping a gift. So you have to remember, anytime you see the word wrapping gift, you have to write down that wrapping gift means total surface area. That's the formula that is required. Okay. Now they also tell us the shape. This is a prism. So it says it right here. The box of the gift shapes like a rectangular prism. So you're going to go to your formula sheet and we're going to look for total surface area, and we can see it's right here. So total surface area, and then we look for the word prism. And this is the formula that we're going to be using. So we're going to copy that formula on our paper. It says S, which is total surface area, that is equal to P, which is the perimeter of the base, times the height of the prism, plus 2 times the area of the base. All right. So this is a prism, and a prism always have 2 identical bases. Now, where are those 2 identical bases? It's over here and over here. If it's a prism, every prism always have 2 identical bases. So it therefore means that this part has to be the base. So this is the base. This is one of the base. And its identical base would be over on this side. All right. So those are the base. So the first thing that we need, let's write down what the things in the formula mean. So the P is the perimeter of base. The H in the formula represents the height of the prism. So I'm going to put height and its height of prism. The big B represents the base area. Base area. All right. So we need to know what the perimeter is of the base, the height, and the base area to be able to work out the total surface area. Now, what is perimeter of the base? So the base is over here. It's 2 of them, but we only choose one, and we choose the one that we know the length of. Okay. So perimeter is when you add the total distance around the shape. So the base is a triangle. So we would have to add all around it. So we need to add this side plus this side plus this side. Now we know the length of 2 sides, so we need to know what this is because we need that side to find the perimeter. So what we could do, we can work it out because it is a right triangle. So if it's a right triangle, you can, and we know the length of 2 sides, we can use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So let's go ahead and we're going to do that. So I'm going to put the X right here. So we're trying to figure out how long is this segment. So for that one, we're going to use a square plus b square equals c square. So remember that what is important when you use this formula is that you have to identify your c. If you label it incorrectly, your answer will not be correct. So your c, which is always your hypotenuse. So your hypotenuse is always your c, the side that is opposite to your 90 degree. All right. So I'm going to have 8 square plus 15 square, and it says c, so my c is going to be the x square. And right here, you can just quickly grab your calculator and then we can do menu 3-1. So you do menu 3-1. And then you just put it in. 8 square plus 15 square equal c square, comma, c. Enter. All right, so the length of that side is going to be 17 inch. So now we found it to be 17. So we're going to go ahead now and we're going to work out the perimeter of the base. So perimeter of base is going to be the 8 plus the 15 plus the 17. And you can just use your calculator and then we're going to add those. So we're going to have 8 plus 15 plus 17. Enter. So the perimeter, so P is equal to 40. All right. So perimeter, we found the perimeter. What's the height? So if you look, your height of the prism is going to be this side. Maybe saying, oh, Miss Birmingham, the height is over here. No. This is the height of just the base. But the height, we want the height of the entire shape, the height of the prism. So your height is always the side that connects the two bases together. So if you're not sure, anywhere you find your two bases, the side that connects the two of them will always be your height. So this is going to be your h. So your height is going to be 21. So we have our height. The next thing we need to do is to find the area of the base. So this is the base area. So we need to find the area of the base. Now, what shape is the base? The base is a triangle. So we're going to have base area. So we need the area for a triangle. So you go to your formula sheet and you're going to see area and then you look for triangle. And this is the formula that we're going to be using. All right. So we're going to have half. Now, what is the base of our triangle? The base of the triangle is going to be the 8. What is the height of the triangle? The height of the triangle is going to be 15. And then you just grab your calculator and you just work that out. So we're going to have control divide half parentheses 8 close parentheses 15 enter. So the area of the base is going to be 60, and if it is area then you're going to put inch square. and that would be the big B. So now we have everything. I'm going to go back and we're going to substitute those values in our formula. So the formula says S equal P, which is a perimeter, and we know that the perimeter is 40, times the height. The height is 21, plus 2 times the base of the area base, which is going to be 60. And you just put all that in your calculator. So you're going to have parentheses 40, open parentheses, 21 plus 2, open parentheses, 60, close parentheses, enter. So the total surface area of the prism is going to be 960 inch square, and this is our answer. All right, let's go to another problem. All right. It says a composite figure is shown with a cone and a half sphere. What is the surface area of the composite figure? So notice that we have two shapes put together to make one. So there is a cone. So the cone is going to be down here. It looks like an ice cream cone. So this is the cone part. And it says that there is a half sphere. So up here we have a half sphere. All right. So the question is asking us, it says, what is the surface area? Notice if you look on our formula sheet, you have something called, you see surface area here, surface area here. So we need to decide, should we use the lateral surface area alone, or should we use the total surface area alone, or should we use both? It depends on the composite figure. It depends. So we're going to have to look at it. So we have the sphere, and you should know that a sphere doesn't have any base. So once it is the spheres, we will always use the total surface area, because a sphere only has curved surface. So there is no base to it. So if it's a sphere, we're going to be using the total surface area. So I'm going to be writing that down. So for the sphere, we're going to be using the total surface area. Now let's talk about the cone. Now when you look at the cone, so you have to look at the exterior. You have to look at it as one. So imagine you have an ice cream cone. What are you seeing? So when you look at it, if there's a cone, there's a half sphere and sitting on top of the cone, would you be seeing this part, or would you be only seeing the outside around it? For the cone, because this half sphere is sitting on top of it, and it's like you're looking at it from outside, like from the top downwards. You will not be able to see this. This is not exposed. So what would be exposed is only that round top here, and here would be what is exposed. So this part, the inside part here, will not be exposed. So we will not use the total surface area for the cone. Why? Because if you use the total surface area, you are including this part. But we are not, this surface here is not exposed. So what is exposed is only around the side of the cone. And around the side is what we call the lateral surface area. So for the cone, we have to use the lateral surface area. All right? So I'm going to start with the sphere. So for the sphere, we need the total surface area. So total surface area, and we're going to look for sphere. It's right here. So it's going to be S equal 4 pi r squared. Now for the square, r is going to be equal to 7. That's the radius. So right here, your radius goes from the center to the circumference. So if we use that, we're going to have 4 multiply pi multiply 7 square. So we're going to have 4.
Good afternoon, Chargers. Please pardon this brief interruption. We have an announcement. Our sweepstake winning choir